questions for Coach. Brad, what do you feel
How do
like?
you go about stopping a guy like Arch Manning in a Texas offense?
Yeah, a huge challenge. Like he's playing really well. I don't think people realize, what he's doing, how he's operating. Um, and every game's been sort of a little bit different. And I think he's handled it great. He's taken some big hits. He's extended plays with his legs. He gets up. Um, he's made some really big time throws. Obviously, the arm strength and there's no issues there. That I think one of the big plays in that OU game, when they're backed up and he hits that 7 cut on the sideline. I mean that's a pro level throw, and so no, we understand that the huge challenge that he presents. In that whole offense, with the speed they have at wideout and the talent in the backfield, and you know, 5 had a huge game out of the backfield, in OU, making some big runs, big catches. The tight ends get involved. So, everybody at every level of the defense has to be on Saturday.
Marcus talked a few times about DJ Waller was kind of chopping at the bit to get back and frustrated on that process. What are you seeing from him as he's coming back in?
Yeah, I think the same idea. He's chomping. He really wants to go. He had a really good off season, and he's really been itching to get out there and show what he can do. Been trending in the right direction this week, and so we'll see how it goes on Saturday.
How would his return affect your perimeter tackling that Mark's kind of been talking about?
Well, we'll see, right? Like, one, whoever's out there on the perimeter, whether it be a corner, a safety, you've got to be able to execute that tackle. And it's not just on the corners. I know the Ole Miss game, in the first half with the hitches, it was. But you think about the Georgia game, it came at every level. It came from the safety position running inside out, the linebackers running inside out on bubble screens. And so everybody's got to do a good job. But obviously DJ being a long body, he's strong out there. You would hope that, he'd be a contributor out there if they wanted to stress the perimeter, in terms of the run game or, the pass game from a screen or a hitch. So, but we'll see,
Coach, what kind of challenges does a guy like Trey Weisner present to your defense?
Yeah, I mean, he can run the ball. He was tough inside. The big run that I think really got everything going. They had an unblocked runner inside on a slant stunt, and he ran through that tackle, and a really good player whose tackle he ran through and was able to get to the second level and then into the third and really get momentum and get things going for him. And then a couple of plays on third down, where they're trying to play him, with the DB out of the roof, and he's got a little bit of space, and he makes that DB miss, and extends drives. So, again, he can do it with the ball in his hand in the run game. He can do it, in the pass game, a lot like Jaden Blue last year for him.
What did you learn about your group, or maybe work on specifically throughout the bye week?
Yeah, I don't know. If it was anything sort of learned, it was more worked on, right? Like we've been learning about ourselves through these first 5 games and in areas that we need to work on. Obviously, tackling has been an emphasis, and the one thing with tackling is you can practice it, you can drill it, but there's so much that has to happen on game day that they've got to be confident enough to in a drill. Right, if I mess up, like, it's not a touchdown. If it's on Saturday and I mess up, it can be a touchdown, it can be a first down, it can be a big play. So trying to add stress within a drill, where there is repercussions, where there is consequences, in finding ways to add stressors, I think that's an important thing, and it's what we keep trying to do and find ways.
Anybody else?
Receiving core maybe has not so far lived up to the expectations of past season. conversations are you having with your secondary in preparation?
They better be ready. They're long, they can run, they're fast, they can get explosive, they can get downhill in a hurry. No, they understand the challenge that we're about to face. They between Wingo, between Zero, 13's a really good player, made some huge catches, the touchdown in Ohio State. Florida made the big catch, and then I think 3 with Mosley coming back gives them another dimension and another added piece. 17, then you throw the tight ends in their screen game, and there's a lot of ways they can stress you, and they can stress you really deep, and they can get you all the way to their screen game behind the line of scrimmage, do tight end delay screens, running back delay screens. So you just never feel comfortable. Coach Sark does an unbelievable job of mixing play calls and trying to keep you off balance as a defense.
Brad, you talked about confidence, coach confidence on the coach's show last week. Have you just seen your defense respond just when you're trying to build them up this week on them?
You know what? It's a hard thing to answer from the fact that I've loved their energy this week. They haven't been dauber down, head down. There's really as good energy as we've had all season going into a game. So I'm really pleased. I hope that translates to confidence, and you hope that it's not fake. You hope that it's not just fake bravado, that it's true belief in themselves and understanding that, hey, listen, as a coaching staff, we've got their back. If they make a mistake, make it full speed. Don't sit back in a chair. Go, run through tackles and see what happens. And so I really can't answer that until, after Saturday night, and I can tell you how confident they played.
Brad, I think Arch may have the most rushing yards for them right now, but he's not really considered like a scrambling dual
Oh,
threat.
then you haven't watched the film.
Well, people think of him arm first, when you have Manning on the back of your jersey.
Yeah, but even last year, when you think about it, right, when they had Quinn and Ewers there, right, that it was, hey, Manning, Arch adds an extra dimension, right? When he came in and he started those 3 games and he pulled and he had like a 60-something yard run. I can't remember which team it was, Rice or somebody like that, and he ran big, and then he played Mississippi State and he made some plays with his legs, and they're like, man, look at the added dimension. That's what he brings. It may it may not move like Lamar, but you watch him outrun guys at Ohio State. You watch him outrun guys at Florida. You watch him outrun guys at Oklahoma. He's got wheels. He's got the ability to make you miss. He can extend plays, and then obviously he's got the arm strength that once he extends a play, if he doesn't want to take off and a receiver breaks late, he's able to hit it down the field. So, no, there's a huge emphasis on what he can do with his legs.
Okay, folks, thank you very much. Appreciate